Did you know he'll help you understand? Did you know always a right-hand man? Did you know he's gonna make it clear? Did you know? Come on, listen here. Did you know?
Welcome to the Did You Know Show. Today I am in Wilmington, Delaware at the Wilmington Senior Center, and I am sitting here having a blast. Oh my goodness, if I could just show you what happens before we start the show and off camera and that kind of thing. But today I'm at the Wilmington Senior Center with my good friend Sam Nussbaum, who is the new executive director of the Senior Center, and we are just having a good time talking about everything that's going on here. Sam, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell us about yourself.
Well, before I do that, I want to thank you personally. You and Always Best Care has been a big supporter of our agency for many, many years. You sponsored many events and dinners for us, and now you're sponsoring our October 12th visit, which is going to be honoring Dr. Clifford Johnson, assuming we haven't asked, but he will most likely do it, and it's going to be a Calmar nickel on October 12th.
Okay.
And you are the lead sponsor for that, and we appreciate that.
We're happy to do it.
And you know, the personal relationship we developed is also something that's really top of mind for me, and we appreciate it very much. And your agency is a terrific agency. We've worked with you. We've referred people. You've referred to us. And it's been a win-win situation so far.
And we've gone through COVID together.
That's right.
Oh my goodness, that was a trip. We got war history.
That's right.
that we've gone through.
Good history.
But
yeah.
come on, tell us about you. You being modest. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I've been in the field of nonprofit organizations, mostly as either an executive director or CEO of agencies up to a $35 million budget. The one I have now is a smaller budget, under $1 million. And I've been either the CEO, the executive director, or the chief development officer. So I have a lot of background in fundraising. I've raised a lot of money. I got $1 million gift to a private school that I was executive director of.
Okay.
And I did that just by forming a relationship with this gentleman who was friends with somebody, one of the parents in the organization. And we just hit it off. I invited him to all of our events. And lo and behold, when I had to make the ask, he offered us $1 million.
Oh, wow.
And I did the ask, not the a board member, unfortunately. So I did it. Normally, a lot of times board members will do that. So you know, that's been great. I also had a gym at one of the agencies I worked for. We built a $2 million gym. At that time, that was a lot of money, and it was a Butler building, and we were having our basketball games in an old elementary school.
Okay.
And they needed a court that was big enough to accommodate our bigger boys. And we had that built and it was successful. In 1 year, I raised it $2 million with the board. It's always with the board. And speaking of boards, I do want to thank our board, the board of our agency, Wilmington Senior Center. They're very involved, very dedicated and devoted to what we're doing here. Some of them have been on for a long time and are extremely involved in it, and I appreciate all the board members and the contribution that they make to our agency. I have other experiences that I want to mention. One is I got an HUD grant, HUD grant for $750 where I built senior housing. I wrote a $200,000 a New Freedom Transportation grant for people with disabilities.
Okay.
And
Wow.
so I've done a lot of stuff like that, and something I'm proud of is that I also developed the first sex education program for people with disabilities in New York State.
Okay.
And it became very popular. Everybody wanted it, so I wound up traveling all around and doing presentations on it, and that was a real, satisfying experience. One of the things that I developed along the way is a business advisory council for a nonprofit, which basically consists of corporate executives,
Okay.
HR people, and community resource people from various organizations like banks And that worked out very well. I'd like to do that here at the WSC Wilmington Senior Center as well. And a lot of experience supervising group homes and housing, you know, and what we have here is we have pretty much, I would say, a day program of seniors that come during the day and then they go home. There's no residential element to this program.
Okay.
And the people here, they're really active adults. You know, this program, we don't have many people that have Alzheimer's or even the beginning of Alzheimer's yet. I'm very involved with the Alzheimer's Association because I think it's important.
Okay.
Someday it may be needed here. You know, right now they're in pretty good shape, most of our people.
So, with so many senior centers around today, tell us about Wilmington Senior Center and what makes it unique.
Well, I mean, I've been here since October.
Okay.
And it's been quite an experience for me. What makes it unique for me is that I feel the element that we have that makes us successful is love.
Oh, wow.
The seniors love the staff. And when I say love, I'm not joking. And staff love the seniors, and the seniors love the seniors. I mean, it's an amazing thing to behold. Because, you know, there are times when the seniors are in their room by themselves, and you can see they help each other. One helps comb the hair and, you know, helps with the clothing and stuff, how they look. They really help each other, and they love each other. And that's the key. There's no other key, you know, no magic. That's what it is. And I mentioned God. I mean, it's very God-centered place. The people really love to talk about God and Bible studies and things like that. That's very important to them. I would say those things plus gambling. I mean, they like bingo. It's very small amounts. It's nothing big. But they really like, they can play bingo every day if we had it that day. Right now it's just, I think it's 2 days a week, Mondays and Wednesdays. But that's what they love. I mean, and I've learned that over the last several months that I've been here. So I try to foster that, you know, not discourage it, foster it. They like to play cards. They like to gamble for cards as well. They like dominoes. I mean, we have one guy here, Deanie. He just plays dominoes, and he'll play with anybody that he can get. He loves it. Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing. Talk about seniors, passion. Our seniors have passion.
They sure do.
It hasn't like gone in the past. It's not like that here. And I would invite anybody to come here, by the way, and visit our center. I would be happy to personally give them a tour, and I want to give out my cell number in case anybody needs to reach me out there.
Okay, let's go with it.
Sam Nussbaum, the cell number is 302-559-1202. So anybody can call me if they have a question or they want to see the center, visit the center, you know, watch some of the programs. One of our most popular program is the strength training. It's a physical, you know, program. They can sit in chairs or get up from chairs and stretch and have light weights. And that seems to be one of the most popular programs here now. People come from all over just to attend that class. They don't do anything else at the center. You know, that's a little bit about the center. I want to make sure that I'm covering everything.
Well, one thing I want to ask you is, where are you located? Where are we located?
Okay, we're located on 1901 East 19th Street,
okay,
which is between Tatnall and North Market Street.
Okay.
So it's not quite in the town, in the downtown area, but right over the bridge is the downtown area. So we're in a pretty good spot over here. You know, you have Brother Brian over here. He's got a New Hope, a big facility over here. And the people that are around here really look to history. There's so much history here that you cannot believe it. Civil War history, and preserving that context is very important to the people that live around here. So we're all for that.
How do your seniors get to the center?
Okay, they come a variety of ways. One is some of them drive. They have their own cars.
Okay.
And they drive. And I would say maybe 10.
Wow.
Yeah. And, you know, on different days. The ones that come for the strength training that I mentioned, which is our most popular program, almost all of them drive here. And that could be a group of like 25, 30 people each time.
Wow.
Other people take a bus. We provide transportation. We pick them up, and we return them to their homes afterwards.
So if you're looking at the bottom of the screen, you can see that the Wilmington Senior Center phone number, Sam was nice enough to give his cell phone, but you have the Wilmington Senior address and website. It's at 1901 North Market Street, down in Wilmington, right outside of downtown Wilmington. And you do provide transportation. So tell us about your relationship with Always Best Care.
Well, our relation, I mentioned a little of it before, but that didn't cover everything. We have a personal relationship with Always Best Care, with you and your staff.
Right.
And
we're neighbors. We share a building with you.
That's right. That's important to us. But it's not because you're a neighbor in a sense, it's because of how good you and your agency is.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, because of that, excellence is really what I see over there, and that's what I'm striving for over here. So we work together. We have a social service department here, director of social service, and she will work, with your staff if people are in need, both ways. It works both ways. It's a reciprocal relationship.
Right.
And it's worked out really well. And like I said, what makes it work out well is the fact that you have such a quality program over there.
Thank you.
So we appreciate it.
Tell us about your GRC/CRC program, and I guess it's being restarted. What's going on with it?
Yeah, that's right. Good comment. So we have the Grandparent Resource Center, and we have the Caregivers Resource Center as well. It's sort of two heads of the same, sword there. And that program is for caregivers, people who will watch a grandchild or something else, at home. And it really died out after COVID. We couldn't get the grandparents, we couldn't get the kids, and we have a new staff member, Lynn Budd, who works under the supervision of Rosalia Vasquez, who's our Director of Social Services, and they're both aces. They're both fantastic people. And Lynn Budd restarted this program. She had eight people in it recently, the first group that we've had in years.
Oh, wow.
So that is restarted, and that would probably be a program that we would interact with ABC as well. And we're thrilled because our board has been waiting for this for years and years, and our staff, finally did it. So we're very, very proud of that. And we'll be marketing that now. If you look at our newsletters, you might see that in there as well. And it really helps families to have that kind of connection.
Well, the Did You Know show is centered around connecting people to home, community, and business resources that you ordinarily wouldn't know about.
Right.
And certainly the Wilmington Senior Center is one of those resources right down here in Wilmington. And so they have a robust program. I can speak to it fluently. I feel like I could do you guys commercials because they're our neighbors. Because we're here. But then it was great. It has been great post-COVID to see the programs kind of resurrect themselves and really get people involved. And the seniors are playing bingo, you got Bible study, you got all kinds of different things going on down here. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back on the other side, and we're going to continue our conversation with the Director of Activities, Cecile Williams, affectionately known as Seal. Please don't go away.
One accord, every praise is to our God. Yeah, sing hallelujah to our God. Glory, hallelujah is to our God. Did you know?
Let me help you with that, Mr. Smith.
Oh, thank you.
How did this get here?
You got one too?
Yeah.
Ah, new recruits? I'm sure you're wondering why you're here. This is our Elite Caregiver Super Training Center, and you two are the perfect candidates.
This is incredible.
I know, right? Ready to become an Always Best Care caregiver? Working for the best team with competitive pay? Join Team Green.
Always Best Care supports diversity. There's a hero in all of us.
Dad, you can't do this anymore. I think it's time to consider a nursing home.
But I don't want to leave my home, all my stuff.
But Dad,
Alva.
Always Best Care is here to help.
With Always Best Care, we come to you and do anything you need to continue living at home with our care.
You really are a hero.
Let Always Best Care take care of your loved one. Everyone deserves the best care, always.
Did you know? Come on, listen here. Did you know?
Welcome back to the Did You Know Show. With me, joining us right now, in addition to Sam Nussbaum, we have the Director of Activities, Cecile Williams, affectionately known as Seal. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
And so we're at the Wilmington Senior Center. You're the person that develops and controls and schedules activities, but what kind of activities do you offer?
Oh my gosh. The activities that we offer really are bingo,
Okay.
card games, board games,
Pekino?
you name it. They play charades, they play categories, all of it. We have a variety of games that we do on a daily basis.
I see them down there in the community center having a great time. You know, whenever I go to a senior center, bingo and Pekino, I think are the top two. I might be wrong for here, but it's serious. It's a serious situation. So what kind of trips do you offer?
Right now we're planning to go with Sight and Sound.
Okay.
We go to movies, we do different movies.
Okay.
Also different organizations like Children's Museum, we're planning that one.
Okay.
It's just different things all over Philly, New Jersey. We haven't gone to New York yet,
Okay.
but we do different trips all over so that they get a variety of things for the seniors. Because as we get older, we forget.
Telling me.
And, and I want them to always have something to remember.
What does Sight and Sound mean? What is that? What is it?
Sight and Sound's the theater in Lancaster, PA.
Okay.
And right now they're playing Moses.
Oh, really?
So we're planning a trip July 5th to go there.
Okay.
We're going by coach.
Do you ever think about going? You said Philadelphia. I'm just wondering because I'm a theater person myself. I know that Beetlejuice is coming up, Moulin Rouge. Next year they're going to do Wicked. If you didn't know, I have a Wicked, Frozen, Lion King is coming in August. Lion King production is awesome. If you haven't seen it, you definitely want to put it on your bucket list. I don't know if they're going to bring The Color Purple down here, and I don't know if they're going to bring MJ the musical, but that was really good in New York. I've seen it a few times. I tell you what else was pretty good that I enjoyed was Tina, about Tina Turner. That was explosive.
Yes.
You know, in the movies, yeah, I could go on and on. You got me. I'm not a senior, technically, but I love them. I'm a couch potato, and I love the movies. And so, what do your seniors love to do when you talk to them and gather their pulse and try to fill them out? What do you think they love to do?
The thing that they love to do all the time is to play bingo.
I was right.
Bingo, it doesn't matter if it's here, it doesn't matter if it's another center, it doesn't matter. Bingo, bingo, bingo. So I keep it there. I keep it on the schedule for them. The other thing is going to the casinos.
Oh.
That's what I could say.
That's the other thing.
What you want to say, Sam?
Two things they love, both start with G. God and gambling.
That is true.
I mean, they like, very light gambling, a few bucks, here or there, they play cards, and she mentioned the bingo game. And they're very spiritual, they're very religious, they believe in God and Jesus Christ, and that's really part of our program, because that's where they are, that's what they want to do.
I think if more people had seniors in their lives, it would reduce the violence. I just feel like if everybody had a big mom or a pop-up to hug, I think we would see a difference, in some of what's going on. Mm-hmm. But, for me, I love the senior center because the energy is always there. Even when we're doing a lot of the senior expos now, they kind of do it in a bingo kind of a format where each vendor will have something that the senior or the participants have to check off on their card.
Yeah.
And so they get to be a bingo. Like, you stopped at this table, you stopped at Always Best Care's table, you stopped at that table. And they love the energy. And, sometimes it can get really serious and contentious, too. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It can come, they got their seats. I mean, it's protocol. We play, and I'm not being facetious.
No, it is. It's the seats, it's the cards, it's whatever. This is mine. Everything is here. Don't touch.
Don't touch.
Don't touch.
And one of our seniors won $2,700.
Oh, wow.
At Delaware Park Casino.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty big. So tell me about your Speakers Bureau.
Okay, our Speakers Bureaus, Sam had mentioned the idea, and it is about bringing different speakers all over the city and to come into the center once a month to speak to the seniors. And in that, I've usually picked the subject for the month. Okay. Like for mothers, I wanted them to talk about seniors in the Bible.
Okay.
And relate it to the seniors themselves. And in that, it gives them inspiration, it gives them hope. Just because you're getting older does not mean you just don't exist anymore. You have life, and that life is still in you. So I asked them to bring things in like that to stimulate their mind, make sure they're hearing, and they can see it. And they're not like we see this here, but they can see it up in here.
Right.
That goes into our mission: life-enriching services, life-enhancing services,
okay.
life-sustaining services. I mean, that's what seniors need.
Right.
You can't say, that's it, it's over, you're a senior. No. We're just beginning here.
You're really true, because I just participated in one of my favorite events for the year up in Pennsylvania, the Centenarian Luncheon. So maybe that's an idea to celebrate the people that have lived longer than up to 100 and past. Wow. Because that's a walk-in history lesson.
It is.
I tell my daughter, who will be 30 in a couple of months, there's one thing to go to Google or to go to Yahoo or on the internet or Wikipedia, if you will, to look something up. But when you have somebody there that has lived through a war or two, several different administrations from a presidential situation, when you talk to a woman that remembers when women didn't vote,
yes.
when they started to vote, and then when they talk about the workforce, when they were only looked upon to do domestic work or be a nurse or be a teacher, and how it has grown, and they've seen it evolve.
Right.
To me, it's exciting because it's like sitting there talking to somebody like, a walking history book. Yeah. People think because you're aging that sometimes, the senility comes with it. And I guess in some instances it does. But from my experience, the people that I hung out with as of late, I'm talking 103, 105, 104, the bodies might not have been as sharp, but their minds sure was. Yeah. Women out, and I went to this luncheon a few days ago, and anyway, normally the oldest person there is a woman, Sam. Women outlive us. They just do.
That's the way it goes.
Women outlive us. And so this last time, it was a gentleman there that was 105.
Wow.
Right. And so, and then they were walking, like they had a ceremony where they cut the cake. They had this big cake, and they had 100 over it, and they, the oldest woman and the oldest man cut the cake. And you would think they were hobbling. No, they were. Wow. It was something to see.
Something.
You see that here. We have a couple of seniors that are in their 90s.
98.
Okay.
And to look at them, you wouldn't believe they're 98.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable, their stature. It is really good. We have one, Miss Margaret. She, at 98, could play the organ.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and to play it fluidly.
Correct.
So, like you had mentioned earlier, my thing is the love of the seniors, because with them, we have history. and we want to throw away that history. I don't want to throw away the history. I want to learn from the history, because in learning it, I can pass it on. And the whole thing for me is working for the seniors to learn how to pay it forward.
You know, one of the most proudest moments of being a minority business owner for me is the fact that I've been able to develop and build a multicultural, but more and more an intergenerational work environment.
Yep.
Yes.
And so we have the blessing of having people that are 18, and some of our people are in their 80s. And so for leadership, it's always a challenge for messaging, because what you say to your, let's just say 60 and over, you can't say to your 18 to 35.
Right.
And then you still have that 35 to 60 that are kind of on the cusp of that. But it makes for an interesting situation. But you always learn the creativity that you learn from people. And it's fun to see and partner when we go in, because you know it's no secret I own a home care agency, right? But when we are partnering a caregiver with a senior, a lot of time is taken to see, what did this senior do? Are they retired? One. Were they a teacher? Did they work in the government? You know, were they law enforcement? Were they work postman? Were they a nurse? You know, it's always fun to put a young person that may or may not have a senior in their life. Because I'm always surprised. I was blessed with seniors in my life from the beginning, but it's always surprising to me how many young people that don't have that circle of life. So when you partner a young person with an older person, and you know, for instance, of a retired nurse, and you have somebody that's starting out as a home care aide that has aspirations to be a nurse.
Yep.
And I call my retired nurses my old white hats. You know, because the conversation starts, and I've seen it start, well, back in my day, baby, we didn't have long fingernails. We weren't allowed to wear earrings or excessive jewelry. We didn't have multicolored hair. We're accepting of it, but that's from whence we came.
Right.
And you know, and I remember my grandmother, you know, who was a retired RN, every weekend polishing her shoes and ironing her skirt and her cape and her headdress. It was a process. Yeah. And so when you bring that kind of intergenerational vibe in, for me, it's rewarding. Because sometimes even when I talk to seniors myself, as a business owner, you know, when you talk to people that have sold businesses and ran businesses as seniors, and especially a minority, because, you know, they're always rooting for me, kind of.
Yes.
You know, and I kind of like, you know, have big shoes to fill, I feel like. So I have to, you know, I can't, there's no whining allowed. You know, and we hear people say, well, no, we didn't have that. We didn't have social media. We had the word of mouth. You know, you had to talk and that kind of a deal.
Well, we're going to do some of that in the future. We're partnering with several agencies, one of which is the WRK Group. Logan Heron is the CEO.
Okay.
And he has a teen warehouse there.
Okay.
Plus he has an early childhood. So our future plan, we're hoping to partner with him to bring some of the teens into here, or vice versa, our seniors, and have more of that interaction, because that's something our board really would like to do in the future.
I think it's so important. I've heard some people, programs talking about bringing neighbor back into hood. But when when you bring seniors and young people together, I've seen it happen, not as much as I would like, but it's always interesting. It might start off a little bumpy and a little contentious at first, but as time goes on, because even in home care, I can't tell you how many times my staff will hear, I don't want no young person coming in here, that, you know, the work ethic and all of that. But then when we have to upsell young people sometimes and say, give them a chance. Give them a chance. Exactly. Give them a chance. You know, and show them. You know, show them and explain. And then as time goes on, what's always interesting, and I love to see it, is when that young person now has to take a vacation day or something like that, and the senior will say, I don't want anybody else. I want her.
Yes.
I want. They grow attached.
It's magic.
They grow attached. So, you know, I understand you collaborate with other senior centers. Tell me about that St. Patrick's, Afsamalon Jones, and the WRK work group. I think you were just starting to mention that.
Yeah, so we have 3 other senior centers that we collaborate with right now.
Okay.
And the collaborations are going fantastic. One is St. Patrick's Senior Center, which is walking distance practically across the street. And we've done, for months now, events with them. They've come on some of our trips, you know, with us. Very congenial collaboration. we have events here, bingo here, they come over in their bus and they participate in that. So it's going great. And I just got to mention it, but they had a Mother's Day celebration last Friday, I believe it was, and it was totally amazing. They had
Tell us about it, Sam.
Dr. Stanley Hurst II was there, and I got to mention him first because he did a presentation, spiritual presentation that I was on my feet. I mean, I couldn't believe it. It was he's a fantastic. We haven't seen him before, but he's scheduled to be coming into our center soon. So he was great, and then they had a singer there. I don't know her name, but she's fantastic. We're getting her also. We're getting her to also come in, you know, and sing. She can just sing a cappella and break the windows. I mean, she's got such a powerful voice. So, and then one of our seniors, Verna, won the Mother of the Year award.
Okay.
So she got a nice little award there, and they had a lunch. It was just a, you know, Jewish we have the word hamish, home-like experience. It was really, really, really great. So that's the St. Patrick's, and we get along with the executive director there, Peter. He's a wonderful man. And then we have one with Absalom Jones. And the CEO there is? Joan.
In our collaboration with Absalom Jones, where Joan is the director there, we are going to do a sight and sound trip with them.
Okay.
We're going to do flight over the casino. But what it is where we're going to go with them and watch the planes go over the boardwalk and do all the different acrobats in the air.
Okay.
And we're taking the seniors there. The WRK group, we just started.
What does that mean? Work group or?
Work group.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Logan Herring is the CEO. He's got several different agencies. The senior center is one. They have an early childhood center. They have a teen warehouse, they call it. And all of those together are the WRK group. He's also opening a community, a self-contained community, of which this will be the 21st around the United States. And it will have housing, it will have doctors, it will have schools from birth all the way to high school. It's a self-contained community. They have 21 of these around the country. The first one started in the home of the Masters. Was that Augusta, Georgia? And that was 20-something years ago. It's very successful, still running well today. And it just really turns poverty over into something much, much better. He's got one of those communities called Reach Riverside coming here to Wilmington, and it's going to be phenomenal. So you know, we're just starting to collaborate with them. We met with their senior director, Jocelyn Dixon, and Seal and her are going to plan some things and do some things together. So we're very excited to have 3 collaborations like this, because I find the other senior centers, they're not competition. Sometimes I've been in a nonprofit world where you felt your fellow nonprofits were competing with you. I don't get that feeling at all.
Okay.
All they want to do is help and collaborate.
Right on.
So it's fantastic for us that we have those 3 collaborations.
So how are things going at the center, I guess, post-COVID? I guess that's the question. You know, Always Best Care shares the building with you, and I've definitely seen an uptick in the activity, and we're glad too, because it was quiet for a while.
Right.
But it's, you know, everything seems to be coming back. So how are things going?
Well, I think things are going great. I think that it took us, you know, a year or two, a little more maybe, to sort of get over COVID to the point where people felt comfortable enough to want to leave their house.
Right.
A lot of them stayed in their house for a couple of years. We had a program where we called them, and we kept calling them if they weren't ready, and then some of them became ready. So right now, I think the SEALs work, we're starting to get some people that didn't come to us during COVID and really had no intention to come back, but now they're starting to come back. COVID is not really in their heads anymore. So that's a fantastic thing that we. So we're really moving ahead, and we're starting to get back to where, you know, we used to be numbers wise. So we're happy about that.
Tell me, how important is weekly Bible studies for the center? Come on, both of you, one at a time.
The weekly Bible studies are very important for them. it enriches them even the more, it gives them more understanding, and I think it just brings the overall peace to them on a daily basis. When we start in the morning, we do a little mini devotional to start the day. That could be song and prayer or just prayer, but mostly it's the songs to get their spirit up, get their mind lifted. Anything out there, leave it out there. So we're starting a new day.
Wow, you know, Sam was in here singing before we started the show. We were setting up for the show. He came in here singing the song. I said, okay, Mr. Sam.
I'm very involved in that Bible study. I mean, I attend that class Mondays 10 to 11 with the two elders there that we're blessed to have, and I'm learning all about the history and the Bible, and it's a great program. The seniors that go to that program, they love it. They really love it, and they get so much out of it. It's really amazing. I mean, that's what I said. The 2 G's, God is one of them. They're very much into that, and on a daily basis. What's that, hon?
It's growing.
It's growing. That's right. Thanks to you, it's growing. We're getting more seniors in there, and that could be a bigger program. Maybe it'll eventually be in a big room. I don't know. It would be nice.
So if you're looking at the bottom of your screen, you'll see the Wilmington Senior Center. You'll see the phone number. You'll see the website. But Sam, can you tell us what the operational hours are?
The hours are basically 9 to 4, right?
Okay.
With staff.
Staff is 9 to 4.
Yeah, 9 to 4. The center itself goes about 9 to 2.
1:30.
Well, yeah, to be technical, but 2.
You provide transportation, I think.
Yes, we do. Some of them come on their own.
Right.
They drive their own car, and they come and they leave on their own. And some of them come without. We pick them up, and we drive them home as well. So those are really 2 ways that they get there.
Wow. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back on the other side and continue our conversation with Sam. Seal, thank you so much for joining the set. I really appreciate it. Good luck with you, the director. Sam has a hand out. He's shaking his hand.
Whoa.
Stand.
I'm sorry.
Please don't go away. We'll be right back.
Dad, you can't do this anymore. I think it's time to consider a nursing home.
But I don't want to leave my home. All my stuff.
But Dad.
Alva.
Always Best Care is here to help.
With Always Best Care, we come to you and do anything you need to continue living at home with our care.
You really are a hero.
Let Always Best Care take care of your loved one. Everyone deserves the best care, always.
Let me help you with that, Mrs. Jackson.
Oh, thank you, dear.
How'd this get here? You got one too?
Yeah.
Ah, new recruits? I'm sure you're wondering why you're here. This is our Elite Caregiver Super Training Center, and you two are the perfect candidates.
This is incredible.
I know, right? Ready to become an Always Best Care caregiver? Working for the best team with competitive pay? Join Team Green.
Always Best Care supports diversity. There's a hero in all of us.
Did you know? Come on, listen here. Did you know?
back to the Did You Know Show. Today's show is sponsored by Always Best Care. But I want to remind our viewers that you can catch me on WRD Radio on Saturdays at 4 p.m. The Did You Know Show is on the radio and on TV. Again, it's centered around connecting people to home, community, and business resources that you ordinarily wouldn't know about. And today, we're featuring the Wilmington Senior Center with my good friend, Sam Nussbaum. And he was down there this morning dancing a little bit. You've seen the video in the beginning, and we're going to end off with that too. He is not for pretend. And, you know, the authenticity that you get from this gentleman is real. He is somebody that I just really look forward to his opinion because he has a lot of good ideas. And so as we continue the conversation about the Wilmington Senior Center, tell us the philosophy of aging in place.
Okay, aging in place really means, you know, when a person gets older, he or she may start to need certain services like home care, ADL, activities of daily living and like that. And there are different philosophies. One is you stay in your home and those services that you may need, if you need any, would come into the house, and like the home care in a sense.
Right.
And somebody would help provide those services. And we believe in aging, you know, in place. So if a person is in the home and, you know, they should really stay in the home is the way until something else might come along that's better. And we have here our philosophy of aging in place. When you see our seniors, they come here, you know, every day. And between this and their home life, they have a complete life. Our seniors are very involved in their families. So we want to encourage families, you know, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren, because some of them have that,
right.
To be involved in their lives. The idea that we want to do here is create a life that is enriched and enjoyable for them. I mean, there's no reason why, because you turned 70 or 80 or 90, that your life stops. And let me tell you,
or 100.
Or 100, that's right. We have a few. You mentioned
your mom turned 100.
And my mom turned 100, you know, recently. So, you know, I'm not going to say life after death. It's life after life.
Right.
So it's really amazing. They enjoy their lives. They enjoy the daily activities that go on here. It's amazing to see because it gets me excited. Not the other way. I don't come in and go Sam's here. No, they turn me on. It's the opposite. So we really love that.
What is the Wilmington Senior Center's mission and philosophy? While we're talking about, you know, we talked about aging in place, but what is the Wilmington Senior Center's philosophy and mission?
Yeah, so basically, you look at any person who needs services. So if you have a person, for example, who's handicapped, and can't dress themselves and can't do that. So what we would want to see for people like that is that they learn those skills, you know, through service agencies and people that provide those skills. Now, our seniors are pretty much healthy and happy. We have active adults here. We don't have many that even have memory loss. I mean, most of them are really healthy and happy, and thank God for that. So what you got to do in that case, you got to enhance and enrich their lives and what they do to make them even, you know, more happy. They don't need, oh, please tell me I should. They can all do that.
Right.
You know, and they can bend down and do that. Of course, it gets harder and harder. I can speak from personal experience, but being a young senior. So we look to provide happiness to the people that are here, to make sure they're happy, make sure that they're enjoying their lives, having a good time. And that's why we provide all the activities we mentioned and that Seal will mention, and trips that we do for them, and gambling, because they love it. So we provide things that they love, and it enhances their overall well-being. And that's what it's all about. So it's a sense of our staff are here to provide happiness, to help them to achieve happiness in their daily lives.
Okay.
And that's a big thing. It's not just what we do, it's with their families and everything else.
So how are you funded?
Well,
How is the Wilmington Senior Center funded?
Okay, we have various ways. We get funding from the state and the federal and local government from the city of Wilmington. Our biggest grant is something called the Senior Grant in Aid. That's the biggest grant that we get, and it's probably about maybe a little bit less than 1/3 of our overall budget, which is $700,000.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, it's not considered a big agency, you know, but one of my goals is really to grow it and make it bigger and try to access other funding sources. So we get grants from those sources, and we also get grants from family foundations, corporate foundations, bank foundations, and we apply for a lot of those, and we get a lot of grants. Those grants might range from $5 to maybe $20,000 or $25,000. But the Senior Grant in Aid is a big grant. That's about $200,000.
Oh, wow.
And we fight with the other agencies to try to get that, because every agency is applying for the Senior Grant in Aid. Every senior
Is it a
agency.
deadline for that? When do you apply for that? Is it an annual
Yeah,
grant?
we were already into it, so basically
Okay.
we get a check each year from the last one that we were approved on. And without that, we wouldn't be around. And right now, we are going through a very hard time financially. So we're going to need help, you know, from everybody. We'll send out mailings, and we ask that you help us, because right now we're experiencing a little bit of a budget deficit, which is hard to operate. So it's not just us, senior centers in general. You know, there's not a lot of big funding because the people are not disabled, they're not handicapped. I mean, if they were, we'd get funding.
Okay.
You know, so that's what it is. And I don't want them to be, but.
Tell us about the Stand By Me 50 Plus.
Oh, that's one of our best programs. We have two staff, Kathleen Rupert and Jerry Huss.
Okay.
They do a spectacular job in that program. And I'll just read something that tells you what it's about.
Sure.
Our SBM 50 plus financial coaches motivate and empower older adults to take charge of their financial future by objectively assessing their financial health, setting appropriate goals, and establish habits and behaviors that will help them thrive economically.
Okay.
Curriculum covers the basics of finances, goal setting, budget planning, debt reduction, credit repair, and asset building and protection. One-on-one financial counseling is available to those who want personal support to develop their financial plan for retirement. Our coaches visit sites convenient to clients for educational programs and coaching. It's an unbelievable program done by those two people, and I'll give you an example of some of the results that they have. Budget. Client created a budget. This is with the two staff we mentioned. 576 people were working on that. And how many achieved their goal? 99.31%, 572, through the work of our two staff here. Client took action to improve credit. 574 took action, and 431 achieved the goal. 92 increased their credit score, and the average credit score increase was 86. This is very important for older people. They apply for mortgages and housing and unlimited resources and limited money. So this program helps them to negotiate through that. The total amount of debt that we reduced with all the clients that we saw, 1.9 million, about $2 million. Average amount of debt reduction, 12,000. Client took action to increase savings. We know most of the older people like me, it's hard to save, and they don't have the surplus money to even save. 573 people did that. The total amount saved, $2,037,000. Average amount saved, 9,000. Client acted on asset goal 573. 186 achieved that.
Wow. And
client took action to improve employment. 507 out of 572, 142, or about 1/4. So the Stand By Me 50 Plus program is amazing, and I can't give enough thanks to Kathleen and to Jerry for the stellar job that they do, and they also work with us, you know, closely, so that if one of our seniors in the program says, you know what, I want to sell my house. I want to buy a house. I don't know if my credit score is good enough. They would go and meet with one of those two financial counselors, and they would be shepherded right through that process. What a resource it is. You know, we've even time where, you know, maybe staff might even need something like that. You know, not everybody can do everything like that, and they need some help. So we're very happy about that.
Okay. And so tell us about your board.
We have a great board. I think I mentioned it a little bit. They're very involved. They're very devoted. You know, they attend our board meetings, which is once a month, and we review everything. We review the budget, we review the programs, and we review policies and procedures. We have a personnel manual, and the board basically takes care of all of that. They work very closely with me. I'm the sole employee of the board. An executive director is the sole employee of the board.
Okay.
So they supervise, you know, me like that. Although on a daily basis, it's more of a joint thing. So we have some extremely devoted board members on there, you know, that will help and volunteer for whatever's needed. So I look forward to working with the board in the future and continue to make strides as we go.
I understand you just participated in the Advocacy Day at the Legislative Hall in Dover. Tell me about that.
Oh, my goodness.
It was fun, right?
That was fun. You know, I saw, you know, some of your staff over there.
Yes, we did participate. We participated in the Advocacy Day for both Pennsylvania and Delaware.
Yeah, and that's wonderful because it's a great experience for staff to participate in that kind of day because you really see the legislative process come alive.
How it works, how it all works.
And you realize that there's a lot behind the scenes to these things. So I was there on behalf of the Alzheimer's Association, which is a great organization.
They are. I'm on the board for the Delaware Valley County.
Everybody should give to them as well because they're very, very good. And who did I meet there? I came there. I didn't know I was going to meet. I thought I'd meet some local politician. Lieutenant Governor Bethany Hall Long was there. I met her.
Wow.
Senator Spiros Monsavinos. And it was great. I really bonded with the Lieutenant Governor, so I hope I can meet with her in the future. And I also met our local state senator, this local state senator for this area. And she's also wonderful. And
you guys marched in here.
I hope to meet with both of them. And
I'll tell you, for the advocacy for Alzheimer's, I had the pleasure a few days ago marching with the Alzheimer's Association for Delaware Valley Chapter in Philadelphia. We marched to CMS to get them to make a lot of the FDA drugs accessible to people that have it. Did you know that 2,000 Americans advanced to an advanced stage of Alzheimer's because they're not able to access some of the drugs that are FDA approved? Yeah. And so CMS is handling it discriminatory a little bit, just putting those drugs to the side and really parceling them out. So the Alzheimer's Association is something we would advocate for. You know, I think we talked about it just a little bit, but what are your plans for the future?
Okay, I just wanted to mention something. Sarah McBride, his name I just forgot for a second, is the state senator for this area. So my plan is to meet with her, and maybe her and myself go to meet with the lieutenant governor. The lieutenant governor is running for governor, so she would be a very important person. And I want to just mention today with all the speaking that you've done shows you how complicated these things are in a nonprofit and for-profit world. These are not easy things. Everything has a certain way of doing it and this and that. And it's really a credit to the people that work in the field that they're able to negotiate and navigate this kind of thing.
It is not easy. It is not easy, and really you have to have people. Advocacy Day is a day that we go and we talk to elected officials to kind of make it plain.
Right, that's right.
Because it is a difficult thing to follow. When you talk about things like increasing the Medicaid reimbursement rate, when you want to increase the Medicaid reimbursement rate so that we can pay caregivers and people that are in the home and community-based space a more competitive wage. And right now, we're probably at the bottom of that.
Yeah.
And so, and hence, we have that real crisis in the labor shortage.
Right.
You know, we want to be able to do things like, one of the things we advocated for in Pennsylvania was to let the LPNs do deaf pronouncements.
Right.
You know, it's an RN shortage in the field.
Yep.
You know, we have LPNs, so if the LPNs can go out and do deaf pronouncements when applicable, that would help move things along. Another thing that we advocated for was, you know, being able to interview people consistently through virtual.
Right.
You know, because of COVID, we had to, right? And the irony of that is you're interviewing somebody virtually to send them out into the home and community-based space.
Right.
So when you say complicated, I think that's an understatement.
Yeah.
You know, as we wind down, you know, I'm getting signaled that we have a few minutes left. What would you like to leave the people with when you talk about the Wilmington Senior Center?
Well, first of all, that we're really a bundle of love and a showcase of love. So if you want to feel good about yourself, about your life, you want to feel better, come down and join our senior center. And the application, the fee is, we raised it $5 from $20 a year to $25 a year. And that would include all the services that we provide. The only thing that's extra is lunch. We do have lunch here every day, and it's $2 each day for a lunch. So for $10 a week, well, we're not open Fridays, but for 4, it's like, what, $8 for 4 lunches. And I know they have a good one today that I'm waiting for. They have pot roast. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, wow.
But I eat all the food here. I eat with the resident, with the seniors here, and I really love it.
Excuse me, I'm just going to jump in. Sam Nussbaum, he prays with them, he laughs with them. Today we seen him dancing with them. I really vibe with you, and I'm glad you're here.
I agree with you 100%, and I do because I like it, and that's my personality. I'm not, I'm not trying to do something for
You're not
a
phony at
result.
all.
I'm not, because I enjoy it. I like it here.
At the bottom of the screen, you will see the Wilmington Senior Center's website and phone number. If you're interested, if you know somebody that could benefit from coming out here and aging in place and benefiting from the bingo, from the trips to the movies, to the plays, to the airplane shows, if you know somebody that could benefit from the Wilmington Senior Center, certainly give them a call. I am Bryant Green. I'm the host. And today, Sam, I've enjoyed talking with you.
Same here.
And we will see you next time. Take care.
Did you know he'll help you understand? Did you know always a right-hand man? Did you know he's gonna make it clear? Did you know? Come on, listen here. Did you know